Nova Scotia, and I am I moved out to Ottawa a few years back, and then I just realized I got everything out of there. Yay! And now I live in Toronto because that's yeah. So someone else talk.
How about you, Skylar? Where did you live before Vegas?
I was in Los Angeles most recently before Vegas, and then prior to that, Northern California.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. You said you were from Livermore area, Livermore Laboratories.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
lived, well,
Wait, you're also in the Bay Area, right?
well, worked at Genentech,
Oh,
where
wow.
they cloned the DNA and made the human growth hormone. And I
Yeah.
knew the Livermore labs. I heard of them.
Oh, wow.
There was a comedy club at Livermore, and they wrote an article about a show I was in. I was proud of that.
I know that I remember that comedy club. I have that was probably the first comedy club I ever went to.
You're too young.
The one, no, there's still one there in Livermore. I think it's the one that's been there. What's it called? Shoot, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Come on, Danny.
I can't remember. I've been there once. I know it's called. Yeah, I'm not sure
Like
if it's the same
Tommy
place.
T's or one
Yes,
of those
it is.
Oh,
types.
that. Oh, that's not Livermore.
Exactly
Yeah, that's
right.
that's somewhere else. Yeah, Tommy T. That's still around. It's
Yeah.
in Pleasanton.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Pleasanton. Yeah.
But Livermore, I forget the name. I have it in my scrapbook because I can't believe I performed in a real club in front of a lot of people. It flips me out to think of it.
Yeah, it's fun. You
I mean, I do it now, but wow. Anyway, Skylar, you seem pretty young. Did you decide I want to go be a comic and go to Vegas?
I'm an actor first and foremost, and I'm currently getting my MFA in acting. And one of our classes we had to take was stand-up comedy, and I got the bug, as they say.
That's
The
so
first time
great.
I get up there.
I think I got to see you your first time on stage.
I think you did at Wise Guys, yeah.
She's taken off like a rocket because she's a strong writer, and so she has a very fast learning curve with comedy. She's doing very well, guys. Book her. Well, unless Danny has anything to add to the conversation.
Oh, sorry, I was fixing myself. No, let's see. What time is it? Oh, it's 5 o'clock.
Time for us to get going on the show, unless you want to say something.
No, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you guys at home, thank you for tuning in. This is episode number 38 of Military Comedy. It has been all clean comedy, and I'm sick and tired of being the school marm, and we are now enforcing freedom of speech. So if you have children in the room and they don't know curse words and you don't want them exposed, you might want to have them shuffled out of the room at this time. Anything goes as long as it's not overly explicit and gross. So there we go. How's that for you guys at home? Little warning for you. The show gets shared to many military organizations and veteran-owned companies. There's 7 on board right now. If you know a company that's owned by anyone who served in our military or Canada's military, that's for Jerry, let me know, and I'll share this with companies and organizations more than I'm doing already. I'm glad to do that. So this show is brought to you in your homes, in your companies, in your organizations for one single purpose, so that whatever you've been through in the military, so that we can still be around, and some of us comics can sling jokes in English or Canadian. We want to thank you for your service, for whatever you had to do. We want you to forget about anything going on in your life and just kick back and be glad that you're not us, because we're going to share things out of our life and it's going to make you feel a lot better about yours. Trust me. So you know how that goes. So I have 2 sponsors for this show. One is Steve Solomon. He's one of my friends. You can see him on my friends list. And he's an artist who takes mine and some of Helene's pictures, and he makes them artsy fartsy really well. He just does a bang up job. Did she say fartsy? I think she did. And so you want to hire him. He'll let you take your pictures and make them look amazeballs. So there you go. That's a more trendy word for the old lady. My other sponsor is the veteransofcomedy.com, started by the amazing Will Clifton. He's a veteran of the military. And him and Eric Knowles started the nonprofit, the veteransofcomedy.com. So anytime you're looking for anybody who's served our country to come and serve up jokes for your company or organization, hire people from the veteransofcomedy.com. They're there waiting for you to make you laugh as well as any other comedians around. So it's always nice to give back to the veterans in any way you can. And this is a way for you to do that. So I'm going to go into my comedy in a second here. I want to introduce my comedians for the night. It's going to be me, Linda Marcus Smith. After me, Helene Weiswit, Helene Witt, which is either way you prefer it. She's on Facebook as both. She's going to be after me. I'll introduce her and you're going to be so amazed at her bio. Then after her will come the amazing Skylar Schock out of Las Vegas. And as I did not mention it, Helene is in New York. Skylar Schock is in Las Vegas, kicking it in many different ways. We'll get into her intro before she takes the stage as well. After that, the amazing Jerry Everett Hodges out of Canada, over there with the hat on. And our headliner, a true headliner, has been around. Wait until you hear his intro. You're going to die laughing at all of these comedians, but our headliner is amazing. I love his comedy so much, and I'm so glad all of you are here. I'm so glad everybody gets to hear all of your talent at the same time. Our headliner, Danny Dutchy. Did I pronounce it right? Tell me I did this time.
Yes, thanks, Linda. Yeah, Danny Dutchy.
Absolutely. So now Linda Marcus Smith will take the stage. Wait, she's already on the stage. She's talking about herself in the third person. Oh no, this is going to be rough. Well, I'm Linda Marcus Smith, and I have a twin brother named Fred. I know, right? And oh my gosh, people always do it. I know you've done it before. They always say, "Are you identical?" I'm telling you, people, it gets I try to be nice. I try, but you know, like, it's so weird getting that question because, like, if you found $2 bills on the ground next to each other and one had a male body part and one had a female body part on it, would you think they're identical? I don't think you would. Yeah. My twin brother has a sense of humor. He says that I look just like him if he was in drag. I'm like, I think we have a whole nother thing to talk about, Fred. I didn't know you did that. Yeah. When people ask if we're identical, I like to say that, well, except for my brother, he got his amazing strapping looks from my father. And I got my mother's strap on. She was pretty strong-willed. Let me just put it that way. If you knew her, the joke would be a lot funnier. But just take it from me. She had a lot of testosterone. Oh my gosh. So anyway, my twin brother and I had some birthday this year. I don't know. I lost track. You know, we turned something. I turned 21. Forget about my twin. I turned 21 times 3 plus, well, none of your business. That's what. Besides, I can't really remember and I don't want to. So, yeah. But this last year, my twin embarrassed me so much, you guys, by coming out. Not that by coming out as a 71-year-old. Now, I had to face the music. And you know how twins work. Now I'm busted AF. This is not right. I didn't want to be busted, but I'm busted. Yeah. You know, I lost my place in my head. Just 1 second. I do that sometimes. I originally come from Portland, Oregon. Like, this is my life. Why should I have trouble remembering it? I originally come from Portland, Oregon. And have you seen this phenomenon there? The Portland coffee barista? I know you know baristas, but you don't know baristas till you know a Portland coffee barista. Do you know I almost had to fist one of them? I mean, wait, I almost had to come fist to blows with one of them. That's much better. Because of what he said, Danny. He had the nerve to tell me I looked like Marilyn Monroe. That's Marilyn. This is me. I don't think so. I was upset. Then it dawned on me, hey, that's a compliment. She's beautiful. And he goes, no, Portland, it's raining cats and dogs and your makeup's melting off your face. I meant Manson, Marilyn Manson. Fist to blow time, folks. It's when you want to deck one of them. But I don't take my looks seriously. It's fine. You know, I don't even think I look like Marilyn. I do think I look like if Marilyn had had a sister and the sister had to pop out of a cake and sing happy birthday to Ted Kennedy. That's who I look like. You know, the Cinderella of Maryland. Yeah. You know, I go by 3 names, and I know that could be upsetting. Linda Marcus Smith, you know, people think, oh, you're a diva, you're going by 3 names. And I just want to let you know, no, I'm not going by 3 names because I think highly of myself. I'm going by 3 names because I'm single-handedly turning around history. Because back in time, people with 3 names were really bad. I hate to tell you, but John Wilkes Booth, killer. John Wayne Gacy, killer. Adolf Blanken Hitler, hopeless overachiever. Oh my gosh. I'm part Jewish, and I'm telling you, on that bad list, Hitler doesn't bother me like John Wilkes Booth does. Because if you think about it, and this is where I do my Lewis Black rant, because if you think about it, John Wilkes Booth was an actor. Sorry, Skylar. He was an actor, and he got famous with 1 headshot. That's aggravating. Aggravating AF. Oh, you guys, that's all I'm going to do today, but that's my way of breaking the ice for you all. So thank you so much. Our first comedian coming to the stage, I'm going to make it possible for her to be highlighted. 1 second. I'm going to spotlight her first, and then I'm going to allow her to record, if it will let me. I don't know that it's going to let me do that. I guess it's not going to let me let you record, Helene. Let me try it one more time. Hold on 1 second. I used to be a tech person in my other life. Let's see here. I'm going to give you permission to record.
He's a real comic and she can't remember, but oh well.
I'm sorry, Jerry, is your mic on when you're talking? Hold on. Okay, so you should be spotlighted. Are you spotlighted?
No, I didn't like it for myself, so I stopped it.
Okay, cool. So now you can record yourself, Helene. I would like to introduce to the stage my friend for a long time. I consider her to be my best friend out of New York City, but she started in the San Francisco comedy boom, where you know who came out of, Danny Dutchy and Robin Williams and many, many others in that San Francisco comedy boom. She's been grinding for decades. She's written and gotten paid for by Joan Rivers. May she rest in peace. The amazing Joan Rivers. She's done so many things for comedians, you have no idea. and I love her to pieces. So I'd like you to meet, by getting to know her comedy, the amazing Helene Witt. Take it away, Helene.
Thank you. Then there was the time I gave Danny Dutchy's best friend a car. That's another story for another day. But since you said I did so much for comedians, it just fell right out of my mouth. But seriously, it's nice to meet everybody. Deborah Upton, your water isn't getting me seasick whatsoever. And then it's great to meet Skylar and seeing Jerry. I'm going to be on his show tomorrow. And Danny's does so much for me. Linda's my best friend. But that's not funny, so I'm going to get right into the comedy now. I had to get familiar, I guess. You know, you don't know this about me, Skylar or Deborah, but I go to Zoom at 3 a.m. and I go to comedy school at 6 a.m. And then at midnight, I go to Zoom at midnight in California when it's 9 o'clock. So I sleep very little. So you see this? The reason it's there is, I'll tell you why. Because I get on at midnight, they let me go first, and then they let me just lay down on the couch and just go to sleep, and they understand. But one night they said, who's, like Linda talked about artsy fartsy or something, they said, who's passing gas? And then our friend Bruce said, that's Helene snoring. So that's the joke I use with this picture. But anyway, I'm getting older and I just stare at the Zoom so often, as you know, because I just told you. And I have to notice these like wrinkles starting to happen, like pound signs here, parentheses here, exclamation points here. I could lay down, you could send a text message on me. And I'm losing my hair. I cover it up. I'm losing my hair, but I know where it's going. It's going to my knuckles. And you young gals, I'll say, Skylar, if you don't mind, Linda, I'll use Skylar as an example. You young girls, wait till you see what you're going to get when you get older. You're going to get these rainbows on your legs. They're called varicose veins. But I'm very positive. I call mine the Google roadmap to adventure. And this road takes you to the Dead Sea. That's if the date you have doesn't work out too well, Skylar. And the other road takes you to the Sterling Forest. Now, you young gals, you do the Brazilian and all that. I missed the decade, the 2 decades, the 3 decades with the Brazilian. Do you know when the last time I had a Brazilian was, Skylar? It was when I went to the Belmont racetrack in Elmont, New York. I went behind the silo, I was going to say, the stable, and I had my way with a young man from Rio de Janeiro. That's the last time I had a Brazilian. But, you know, I did pass the time of the Brazilian. And anyway, it doesn't matter, Danny, because I've been in this apartment for 2 years because of the pandemic. I don't need a Brazilian. The only person who ever visited me was my plumber, because I live in a co-op and my tubes needed some cleaning out, if you know what I mean. So I had to plumb it twice, but I had nobody else visit me. Oh boy, it's so funny. You know, I see everyone's background like you have. What is that? A picture of a tiger that you drew there? Lovely. And Linda has beautiful background. And some people have libraries and diplomas. I'm so impressed. You know where my diploma hangs there, Deborah Upton? My diploma hangs in my bathroom because I'm a hippie from the 60s and we were all up the pig and all whatever that meant. So my diploma is in the bathroom. But during the pandemic at the beginning when we didn't have any toilet paper, it was perfect. I could break that window for an emergency only, get that parchment out and have some relief, except parchment is not good for hemorrhoids, let me tell you that. But, you know, it reminds me of the Zoom days when we first had it. I went to school on Mondays. I went to Hebrew school, and the rabbi said, let your nechama bring you anaya. I didn't know what it meant. Let your nechama bring you anaya. And then I went to meditation in the afternoon. Let your chakra bring you karma. Let your chakra bring you karma. Well, the next Monday, they both gave pop quizzes. I got my Nechama and my chakra. I got my karma and my anaya, and I failed both tests. But when we were young, I won't pick on you anymore, Jerry, when we were young, I don't know about you, but our parents gave us strap beatings. Those were the days when you got a beating for what you did. And there would be a man, if they had child protective services, a man would come to my parents' house. He'd have a briefcase and a trench coat and a hat, a little bit like the show, The Untouchables. Do you ever see that one, Skylar? Because I know you might not know, but it would be like The Exorcist. And he'd ring the doorbell. He'd say, Mrs. Witt, we heard you are beating your children. You know what my mother would do if that happened today? She'd go like this, open the screen door. And if you knew my mother, when she opened the screen door, she'd go, come in, sir. And on his way in, she'd say, you're next. If you have a better way to raise these kids, take them. Go ahead, show me how to do it. You don't come here telling me not to beat my children. The reason I'm bringing this up is, ladies and gentlemen, because my nephew can't say no to his son, Norman. He has to say, Norman, I'm going to get a cameo of your favorite race car driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr. And he did, and he put it on Instagram. Here is Dale Earnhardt Jr. I paid hundreds of dollars for him to tell my son to go to bed on time. Isn't that wonderful? No, it's not. You don't have the chutzpah, the nerve, the kahunas to tell your own son to go to bed on time. You need to pay a race car driver. So what did Dale Earnhardt Jr. do? He said, Norman, you need to go to bed on time. If you want to be a race car driver like me, you need to go to bed when your father says so. In fact, my father smashed into a wall. Do you know why he smashed into a wall, Norman? Because he didn't go to bed on time the night before. That's like dark humor. I loved his father. But anyway, any questions yet? I was a school teacher in New York City. Any questions? I have a few minutes left for questions, but I just wanted to tell Deborah, because she's so engaged with my set. Deborah, I taught in the toughest school in New York. I mean, this is what it was like when I was young. And Linda, maybe you used to read the Dick and Jane readers, and they went like this: run, Spot, run, see, Spot, run, Sally, run. And then the principal said, this is a tough school. You have to change the curriculum. So I made my own books with the computer. Run, Spot, run. Dick's got a gun. Spot is a pit bull. Run, teacher, run. And those were the 10th graders. But you know what? I'm glad I'm retired, Jerry, because you know what it would be like today in New York City? It would be like this. Run, Spot, run. Jane's got a dick. See, Sally, run. Run, Sally, run. Well, you've been an audience. I've appreciated and included in the show. Thank you, Linda, for having me.
You're very welcome, you guys. Give it up again for Helene Weiss-Witt. Yay. You can find her on Facebook under Helene Witt and Helene Weiss-Witt. I know she's on Instagram and TikTok too. So find her, follow her, go to her shows when you're in New York. She's all over the map on the East Coast, all about it. Thank you so much, Helene. That was wonderful. So now we get to have someone who I'm recently getting to know here in the Vegas comedy scene. I love her. She's the real deal. She really cares about people. That's why she's been invited here. She's quite an advocate for veterans. We know that by her heart and conversations I've had with her. I'm giving her, I'm going to hit the record button here. Hold on. You have permission to record. And I want to tell you her intro that she said to me, and I quote, Skylar Schock is an LA, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas-based actor, comic, and filmmaker. Her most recent short film, She Had It Coming, was directed by Getty Watanabe, and it was in 25 first film festival selections and won numerous awards. I'll repeat that. Her most recent short film, She Had It Coming, was directed by Getty Watanabe. It was in 25 film festivals and it won numerous awards. I wanted that to be totally clear. In addition to producing and hosting shock value pop-ups, Skylar has featured at the LA Comedy Club, Wise Guys, Delirious Comedy Club, and the Star Lounge. She's hitting the scene in Vegas hard. She's funny and you'll love her. So let's give it up right now for
Is everybody killed and nobody killed? Nobody.
Can you mute?
I don't.
Thank you, Deborah.
Well, thank you, Linda. You did not have to go back and repeat my accolades, though I certainly never get sick of hearing them. I wanted to clap for myself, which I then realized is a lot like when you like your own stuff on social media. It's kind of like, who is that for? So happy Saturday, everybody. I love a Saturday. I get to get up, kind of see where the day takes me. It's usually to Target. Sometimes Starbucks first, but yeah. So you probably could have guessed this, Helene, by just kind of looking at me, but I'm a total daddy's girl. So growing up, that just kind of meant that my dad really and truly took care of everything for me. And I didn't pump my own gas until I was 27. And it wasn't until more recently that I learned about these things that other people were doing that I didn't even know existed, like getting your oil changed or paying your taxes. And so the other day, my dad told me I needed to go to the mechanic. So I did. I took my car to get a maintenance check, and the mechanic, he asked me to take a look at my dashboard. He took a look at it. He said, "Hey, can you flash your headlights?" And I just took my top off. So then after that, he walked around. He asked me to pop the hood of my car, which I don't know how to do because I don't understand like the little hieroglyphics on there. So he popped the hood of my car and he took a look under there and he said, "Whoa, you got a lot going on in here." And I was like, "I know, that's why I'm here." And he started listing off a bunch of things I don't understand. He said I needed more coolant. I thought he told me I needed to cool it, and I got upset. He then told me that my AC unit needed to be recharged, and I was like, finally, something I can do. Which Apple adapter do you need? I have literally every single one since 1999 in my car. And he started getting a little bit frustrated. So he asked if he could talk to someone. And I was like, sure. Yeah, my dad's already on speakerphone. So here you go. So I handed this phone over to the mechanic and he starts talking to my dad. And I hear the mechanic tell my dad that my timing belt is getting worn and getting old. And I said, "Excuse me, that is a HIPAA violation. The only person allowed to talk about my timing belt is my gynecologist." And so I took the phone back. My dad was like, "Okay, here's the deal. You're going to need to go to Home Depot and get some stuff." And I said, "What do you mean Home Depot?" Like, I don't understand Home Depot because anytime I go to Home Depot, all I see are all of the unfinished projects I could have bought and pre-made at Home Goods. So what am I getting there? And then after that, I just kind of decided that the whole like taking care of my car situation wasn't for me. And a better plan was to get hit by a more expensive car and just let the insurance companies deal with it. So I've been driving around at the senior shopping hour in the rich neighborhood, kind of just like hoping a Lexus runs into the back of me. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I am a big sports fan, which might be surprising, but is anyone else here a fan of sports by any chance? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Danny. What's your sport? What are you a fan of?
Mostly football.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That is what I'm a fan of. I just recently finished watching the most recent season of Hard Knocks, or as I like to call it, the Real House Husbands of the NFL. I like sports for several reasons, but one of the reasons I like sports is it kind of gives me a way to explain some of the kind of weird stuff that I say to my boyfriend because he's from the South, I'm from the Bay Area. So sometimes we just have like a disconnect in some of the terminology we use, but sports helps me bridge that gap. So Danny, you're gonna have to help me on this one because you are the football fan here. But for example, in football, you know, when there's a fumble on the field and both teams, before anyone has any idea what's going on, both teams will start going like this. What are they doing?
They say, well, it's our ball.
So they're manifesting what they want for themselves.
Yeah.
Right. I explained that. I said, babe, see, that's what I'm talking about with manifesting. And you, my boyfriend, is a super manifester because he'll be at home watching the game and he'll jump out of his chair and start going like this at the TV. So it kind of helped me prove my point that he too believes in manifesting. I stopped asking people how much money they made, and I just started asking them what was the last airline that they flew. Jerry, what was the last airline that you flew?
Stereotypically, Air Canada.
Okay, it's tricky. I'm not familiar with Air Canada, so I'm not sure what income bracket that puts you in. What is like do you know, is that like more of a Spirit Airlines, or is that more of like are you more like United Arab Emirates?
Let's say United Air, as long as they don't take $600 from me the next time. So,
yeah. So you're solidly comfortable, solidly middle class. I know for those of us who have flown like Frontier Airlines in the last year, we knew that the government stimulus checks like were for us, I recently tried to end it with the most toxic man in my life, Trader Joe. Is anyone familiar with the grocery store?
Yep.
Yes. Are you in an unhealthy relationship with him by any chance? No, I knew it was bad. I knew my relationship with Trader Joe was bad because anytime I go there, I will try anything they suggest to me, and I'm the one that pays for it. But the other day, I found myself in the aisle, upset and making excuses at myself because they ran out of a product that I wanted. And I said, Skylar, you knew this was going to happen and you still refused to figure it out ahead of time. So I knew it's probably best that I stop going to Trader Joe because it's not healthy. It's a toxic relationship. I was recently selected to give a like a TED Talk style presentation. Please hold your applause. And I was reading the bios of some of the other speakers that had gotten selected to be a part of this, and I noticed that some of them were going to be speaking on like electromagnetic chemistry and the veterinary sciences and nuclear radiation, and I had to Google half of the words I just said, and I still don't understand what they mean. So I was kind of concerned about going in there and doing this presentation. And I sat down with the team who was producing the event. And the very first meeting, they said, okay, great. Can we see your PowerPoint? And I just stood up and I went like this. And I held it for a pretty long time before one of the women in the room asked what I was doing. And I said, wow, this is really embarrassing for you considering you're supposed to be the academics in the room, but that is what I believe Sheryl Sandberg refers to as a power pose. And to give it a little bit of panache, I took some inspiration from the iconic power girls group, the Spice Girls. So know your history. Obviously she did not. But then they finally said, no, we are talking about a slideshow. And I said, oh, no, I don't have one of those, because anytime I see a slideshow, I know I'm in the wrong room. Yeah, because the slideshow is usually one of three things. Like it's a slideshow telling you something you already know, telling you something you don't want to know, or just like pictures of things you don't care to know. And no matter what room I'm in, I just haven't had enough wine for that. So... all of my friends, Helene, you did comment on me being younger, but I'm getting older because all of my friends have gotten who don't have kids yet. All of my friends have gotten super into plants or pets like overnight. And I didn't get the memo, but one day I got really severe FOMO, which is a fear of missing out. And I decided that I was going to try my hand at greenery. So I went to IKEA because I can't afford Pottery Barn, and I saw that they had a section of succulents on clearance, and I got really excited. I was like, oh, I can show that I can give love to hopeless things. Marriage material. And so I took home the little succulent and I was so excited to care for it, and I killed it immediately. And as it turns out, I just kind of proved that not only do I not have a green thumb, I'm more like the Leonardo DiCaprio of the flower world. I just kind of want my bouquets to be young and fresh and perky. The really attractive ones can stick around for a while, but if I have to feed it or give them any real attention, like, I'm out. All right, well, that's what I got for y'all. I don't want to go over time here, but thanks for having me, and thank you for your service, veterans and military active duty. I really truly do appreciate it. So thanks for letting me share some jokes with y'all today.
Yes, sirree. Skylar Shock, thank you so much for a great presentation. That was awesome. Your comedy is spot on, girl. Yes, PowerPoint all the way. I'm going to remember that all day. Now, you can find Skylar Shock at fill in the blank.
Yep, Skylar Shock on Facebook, at Shocking, SSCHOCKING on Instagram.
Awesome. Follow her and support her. And if you're military or a veteran, ask her what I mean by the fact that she really does care about our veterans, and she will let you know how much she does. So now coming to the stage, I'm going to switch the highlighting here and turn it over to our next guest. And I'd like to introduce the man in the big square right there for you. His name is Jerry. I almost messed up. Jerry Everett Hodges. He's odd. He's out there. He's Canadian. But wait, it gets better. Call him whatever you want. He goes by Jerry Everett Hodges. He's a veteran comedian who talks about his family, friends, and everyone around him in his act. He's opened for Wafik Nasrallah, Tracy McDonald, Doug Stanhope, to name a few. He's done comedy since the 2000s, or since 2005 it is. He's dubbed as the patriarch of the displaced. Welcome right now to the Veteran Comedy Show, Jerry Everett Hodges. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Greetings to the United States. I do remember Skylar asking about sports. If you're about anyone who's a sports fan, I'm going to let you know I own this jersey. Okay, everyone knows who that is, right? The Cleveland Indians, right? This year they changed their name to the Guardians now, because apparently Indian is too degrading. It's racist and degrading. The name itself, right? This isn't the first time something like this has happened with a sports team. See, there was a team called the Washington Bullets in basketball. They had to change their name because apparently bullets are too negative and violent. So now the team is known as the Washington Wizards. Yeah, you think that's smart? To name a professional basketball team full of black men after the leader of the KKK? Yeah, coming to the field, the Washington White Nationalists. Let's give it up for them. Yeah. No, let's keep going. Let's name the hockey team down south the Florida Black Panthers. Right? I mean, if you're from Florida, I know you have a lot of problems, like living in a state that looks like a flaccid penis. But also, if you're a Florida hockey fan, that's even worse, because you can't differentiate the difference between a professional hockey player and a toothless meth head living under an overpass. The good thing about this is that you can, if they call themselves the Florida Black Panthers, hey, it's easier to see them on the ice, right? Right. I know what you're thinking. This is the black portion of the show. But also, why is the only black person on the show dressed like the lead singer of AC/DC? With this, I like the look. I like the leather jacket. I like the glasses. I like the hat. I look like one of those punk rock kids past their prime. Yeah, and here's what sucks about it. The second I take my hat off, I turn into RuPaul out of drag. Trying out for Grease the musical. Tell you a bit about myself. I am the product of a mixed marriage. My mother is a strong, independent, God-fearing black woman, and my dad is dead. No, don't worry. I'm not half zombie. I'm just dead on the inside. Just wondering. My family's been bombarding me with dating advice. I'm 38, no kids, and no kid, never been married, and apparently a lot of you are thinking the same thing. That guy's a friggin' psychopath. I'm getting bombarded with dating advice that I don't really need. You know, my dad said to me one time, "Son, women these days love to be romantically pursued," right? I said, "Dad, nowadays cops call that stalking." Yeah, and if you involve candy and flowers, it could then get escalated to breaking and entering. Ladies, I need you to correct me on this if this is true. My cousin said to me, "There's nothing sexier to a lady than a man that knows how to cook." Is this true, ladies? Because I need to know, because I bought a second spatula. Yeah, you know that one that's 12 inches long, and that's black, and ribbed for her pleasure? I couldn't afford that one. My sister-in-law has asked me questions like, "Have you ever dated a black woman?" And I said no. She said, "Why?" I said, "Mom, I'm from Eastern Canada, and because of my mother, I'm related to about 90% of the black women in Nova Scotia." Yeah, so I know they have problems. I'm related to 90% of them. I mean, half of those women have mental health issues. The other half are on my dad's side of the family. My mom was always saying to me as a kid, "You know what? We need to find you a nice black girl." I said, "Yeah, Mom, that's exactly what I need to add to this gene pool. A lazy eye and an ear on the neck. That's what I'm looking at." My brother's asking me questions. He's asking me questions about what type of woman I'm interested in. It's like, "Little brother, what's the first thing you look for in a woman?" And I said, "Her clitoris." Let's see, I'm 38. I'm about 5'7", 160 pounds. I got the dad bod. I'm mainly looking for a woman that's around 5'4" in high heels. Because I want to ride Splash Mountain with that special somebody. My brother then said, okay, let me explain it this way. What's your age range for dating? My age range is simple. She's got to be too young to be on life alert and too old to be featured on an Amber Alert. My mom will nag me at any moment she can about my marital status. On her birthday, she nags me. "Mom, what are you looking?" Calling my mom. "Mom, what are you looking for your birthday?" She said, "Maybe just a card, maybe some flowers. A daughter-in-law would be nice, though." I graduated college. My mom came to my college graduation ceremony. The other graduates, their families were like, "You earned this. We're really proud of you," right? Here's what I got from my mother. "Congratulations. Now where's my grandchild?" Sorry, Mom, I graduated. That was the world's worst Dr. Claw impression right there. "Get it. I get you next time. Next time." Now, I'm like, "Mom, I graduated in accounting and business administration, not fatherhood and procreation." Okay. If I did have a kid right now, their middle name would be Devin. And my mom, she will nag me just out of nowhere, right? Calls me up one time. "How come you're not out right now finding yourself a nice girlfriend?" And I had to put my foot down about the situation. I'm like, "Mom, listen to me. It's 3:15 in the afternoon. And it's Christmas Day. And the Wizards are playing right now. Do you know how much an escort costs at this time of year?" "Yeah, I'm not going to bother Toothless Julie right now because she realized her worth." "Yeah, she just started charging holiday premiums, Mom." Okay, and I'm not going to drag her away from her holiday meal of mashed potatoes and crack cocaine. All right. And she's like, "You really need you really need to join the dating scene. I said, Mom, you really need to go join Dad. Yeah, I only take dating advice of anything from anybody in a relationship, not from single friends or anyone who's single at all. One guy said to me, if you ever have to date a woman, or if you have to break up with a woman, buy them something. Sweet, nice, and soft. That way, when they throw it at you, it doesn't, it doesn't cause a concussion, you know. So, there's one woman I had to break up with. I bought her a pair of UGG boots because I'm a bit of a nice guy. I'm a little bit classy, right? Also, I don't believe a woman should ever be left barefoot and pregnant. Yeah, I didn't mention UGG boots. Someone, I told that joke after my set. Someone said to me, "Hey, dude, do you have a foot fetish?" I'm like, no, just whatever you're into, right? That's something I never understood because I've always been a. When I was younger, I was a boob guy, right? I still love boobs to this day. When it comes to that, you know, I matured. Okay, I matured from the longest time ago, right? So I can officially say I'm a breast man. I mean, look at this jacket. Look at this look, right? If I had tits, I would be the sexiest thing in this room right now. But there's men into the legs, there's men into asses, there's men into the breasts, there's even men into feet. That took me the longest time to figure out. But then I heard somewhere, if a lady takes care of her feet, that means she takes care of everything. The hair, the nails, the clothes. Not in every circumstance. This is one woman I went on that website. It was called Plenty of Last Resorts. Yeah, she was looking all good. She kind of had almost the same ensemble as me. She had a jacket. She had the leather print skirt. Don't judge me till you try it. And there's a reason that the team's called the Raptors. The basketball team in Toronto is called the Raptors, right? Because Jurassic Park was really popular. Because how do I put this the right way? She was wearing flip-flops. It looked like that her feet, like she was a foot model for the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park. And her feet were like a size too big. So it kind of looked like her toes were like grasping onto her flip-flops for dear life. Like she was shuffling when she was trying to walk around or whatnot. I like the security on my feet. That's why I wear Docs and Converse. I can bet you anything. Like she was a school teacher, right? I can bet you if she couldn't teach anymore, her feet could support her because her feet look like that they can double. They can actually get another job sitting on the edge of a church, keeping evil spirits away. That's right. This woman had gargoyle feet, okay? That's how nasty her feet were looking at that time. I think I went over my time. Thank you very much. Jerry Hodges, everyone.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Yeah, keep it going for Jerry. That was great. Jerry, tell people where you want them to follow you on social medias.
Okay. I'm on Instagram. It's Instagram, whatever you call it. Jerry Effin Hodges. So it's Jerry with a G. EFFIN Hodges. I'm on Twitter, so it's Jerry FN, the letters FN Hodges. Also, I got a website. It's jerryhodgescomedy.com. I also run a weekly show on Zoom. It's called No Line to Cross Comedy. We're here pretty much every Sunday. We have an anniversary show in 2 weeks on April 24th. You know what? Search everything. Eventbrite, eventbrite.ca. That's Canada's.com. So yeah, eventbrite.ca. Look up No Line to Cross Comedy. You can find everything on there. But yeah.
Super.
Linda, you're a sweetheart. You're awesome.
Thank
you for serving.
Yeah, you should be really glad I didn't serve at a restaurant. I've been fired for more waitress jobs than you can count. But the military took me, so there you go. Thank you so much, Jerry Everett Hodges. Yeah. So now I'm going to switch the highlighting to our headliner and read you his intro. 1 minute here as I do that. You guys are so patient with me. Our headliner of this 38th military comedy show that does not have to be clean from now on is Danny Dutchy out of San Francisco. Let me read you the brief intro he gave me. It's short and to the point. You've seen him on the Late Late Show with James Corden. He's been on the New Gong Show. He's been on AGT, and he does live shows. He does Zoom shows out of San Francisco. So hit him up when you want to laugh. He's there waiting for you. Welcome to the stage, our headliner for the day, Danny Dutchy.
Hey, thank you, Linda. Thanks for doing this, Linda. Hi. Thanks. Yes, I'm Danny Dutchy in San Francisco, and we have a ice cream museum in San Francisco, and I went to take the tour, but they canceled it because one of their employees had a meltdown. So, yeah. And also in San Francisco, our buses now are all equipped with artificial intelligence. Although the last bus I rode on actually broke down and cried. Yep. So, one more thing I heard about the self-driving artificial intelligence, self-driving cars. I guess we're all eventually going to have self-driving cars in the future. But they actually found a computer glitch recently with the self-driving cars. Yeah, they found out that there's a couple of people in the car having an argument, and one guy tells the other guy to go to hell. The car will drive right off the cliff. Yes. So. Yeah, so they say we should wash our hands for as long as it takes us to sing Happy Birthday, but I prefer to be a little more careful. So I sing Stairway to Heaven on that. So. And I'm not sure they still tell us to do this social distancing, 6 feet apart. Yeah, I remember that they were doing that in the beginning. And somebody asked, well, what if I want to have sex with my lover? And they said, well, then use a vacuum cleaner for that, just 6 feet away for that. So, also, my Aunt Louisa is really excited the other day. She said, "Hey, I got the Johnson." I said, "Oh, you got a vaccine?" And she said, "No." So, yeah, I've been watching more TV, like everybody else, because we're locked in here watching more TV. And I saw this movie with this actress with a strange name. Strange name. Her name, Busy Phillips. Anybody hear of Busy Phillips? Yeah. Probably her father named her that, because if someone like me would go up to her and say, hey, hi, I'm Danny, and she'd say, I'm busy. Yeah. So, like I said, I've been watching more TV. Oh, I saw this. I've been binge watching the Whistleblower. You can catch it on Pornhub. The Whistleblower. Yeah. So let's see a little bit about myself. Let's see. Well, I don't know how old I am because my parents lost my birth certificate when they put me in the basket in the river. But I do remember the name of the river. It was Niagara Falls. So, this always happens to me. Whenever I go into a store, customers come up to me and they ask me questions because they think I work there. I mean, do I look like an assistant manager? I don't know. So, yeah. So, the other day I was over in the sports shop in the mall, just minding my own business, and this guy comes up to me with a parking garage ticket in his hand, and he says to me, "Excuse me, sir, can you please validate me?" And I go, "Sure. You're a good person, everyone likes you, and you smell nice." The guy goes, "Oh, very funny, wise guy. I was talking about my ticket." So I look at his ticket and I say, "You're a good ticket, everyone likes you, and you smell nice." Yeah, the guy gets mad. He starts yelling at me, and the store manager comes over to see what all the commotion's about, and he fires me. Yeah, I don't even work there. He fires me. Yeah, although he did get my 2-week severance pay, so cool. And speaking of sports, so I'm not a big tennis fan, but a friend of mine had extra ticket to go see a tennis tournament. Yeah, so I went. Yeah, so when you sit on the sidelines, yeah, the fans, the audience, they follow the ball back and forth, like this. Yeah, I do the same thing, but in the opposite direction, and make faces at people. Yeah, then I hear someone else, security. So that was my experience with that. So yeah, and Scarlett, you mentioned the football. Yeah, I'm a big football fan, big 49er fan. Um, and but a lot of fans are really upset with their owner, Jed York. His name is Jed York, because he moved the team 50 miles south, 50 miles away, and he jacked up the ticket prices so much. Makes it kind of hard to get over there anymore. So just a mere mention of his name, people, just say York, and people just get upset. Yeah, the other day I was over, I was just walking in my neighborhood, and I bumped into my friend David, who I haven't seen in a while, and Dave says, he was in New York, and everyone in the street goes woo woo. Yeah, so then I go to the store and I'm looking for some candy, and I ask, do you have any York peppermint patties? And everyone in the store goes boo, boo, boo. Yeah, and then I go to the butcher and I ask the butcher, hey, can I have a pound of pork? And everyone goes boo, boo, boo. And I said pork, not York, pork. And then the rabbi goes boo, boo, boo. Yeah, so whenever I go to Starbucks, I always order 8 cups of coffee because I like hearing my name. Yeah. By the way, when they have the general election, well, actually, any election, the election, they actually have a voting booth at Starbucks, and if you buy a cup of coffee, they'll let you vote twice on that. So let's see. Yeah, and my friend was bragging that he has a French coffee maker, and it's a big deal. I used to have a French coffee maker myself, but I had to get rid of mine because she was nagging me all the time. Yeah, oh, you just want me for my coffee. You never take me out to a movie or dinner. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. So I guess everybody heard about the Will Smith, even though you didn't watch the Academy Awards. Everybody saw the thing, the big slap. Yeah, but nobody mentions that. It was pretty interesting that there was the this year in the Academy Awards had a new category. Yeah, it was called Best Film without Tom Hanks. He's in all the movies. Yeah. Latest thing about people are actually trying to the gas prices because everything's going up. People are trying to save on the high gas prices by actually using catapults instead. Yeah. It's cheaper. No gas. Well, you like that, thanks. And I recently adopted a rescue dog, but unfortunately I had to take it back because whenever it would fall asleep, it would give me mouth to mouth, and just not into that. So, yeah, so and throughout world history there have been so many book burnings, and you think that Amazon Books can come out with a better name than Kindle and Kindle Fire. Yeah, and let's see what else happened on the news. Did you see the survey on the news? It said that 62% of America's workers are having sexual relationships with someone else in the same workplace. So that got me thinking, man, I need to get a job. Yeah, my last job, I was actually a pizza delivery guy, and I got fired for having a perfect driving record. Yeah, but what happened was my boss got suspicious, and he found out that I did not have a car. I was delivering the pizzas on the bus. Yeah, so, well, I didn't like working for him anyway, because, one time he said to me, hey, Danny, you're doing a great job. I go, oh, hey, thanks, boss. And he said, April Fools. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, and I've been taking up some, trying to work out. I've been taking some karate lessons, and I recently earned the plaid belt in karate. Yeah, the plaid belt stands for, hey, can we talk this over some coffee? I'll buy. Yeah, Oh, by the way, Linda was mentioning I was on AGT, which is America's Got Talent, but I wasn't doing any comedy or anything like that. Actually, I was doing I did a magic trick on there. I was trying to do a magic trick, and I go up, on stage and I say, well, for this magic trick, my first magic trick, I'm going to make this bar of soap disappear. With a little water. Get off the stage. So, well, that didn't work out. Yep. Somebody asked me if I ever had sex in public. I said, well, I did, but it was an accident. We didn't know that the shades were open on aisle 7 at the Home Depot. And by the way, I wrote an essay letter to the Rogaine Company because their product doesn't work. Yeah, and besides that, it just tastes terrible. Yeah. Although I've been more regular lately. So, yeah. And so, thanks. And the other day, I live in my neighborhood, like living in San Francisco. But the other day, I actually got attacked by a mugger. This guy comes after me, and then all of a sudden, this woman comes out of nowhere. She just slams this mugger right down the ground and handcuffs him. So I figure she must be an undercover cop. So I ask her, excuse me, are you SFPD? And she says, no, BDSM. It's a fetish, So we dated, and I remember coming home one night, and there she is wearing nothing but a Freudian slip. And she says to me, so Danny boy, are you ready for your punishment? I go, okay. And so she ties me up between these two posts, and then she puts the TV in front of me and forces me to watch golf. Yeah, or something strangers about golf. But we broke up. Anyway, she was a Republican. Yeah, I didn't see a Ronald Reagan tattoo until it was too late. It was on her fist. Yeah. So but I actually recently I did buy myself a car. I got me a real man's car. I got me a big old '79 Oldsmobile. It gets an estimated I don't care miles per gallon, and its hood ornament is a smart car. Yeah, so I took my car for a car wash and a Brazilian wax, and when I got my car back, all the carpets were gone. Brazilian wax. Yep. So yeah. Sometimes I get so lonely for a hug. Yeah, I just want a hug. So I go to a restaurant and I pretend that I'm choking. So my favorite restaurant, Mama's Diner. They brag it's just like Mother used to make. The only problem is every few minutes the cook comes over to your table and complains about your father. And so by the way, my father was a peaceful man. Yeah. He would always beat me with an olive branch.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember the time. Okay. Let's see. Before I go, I wasn't sure. My overtime or anything, or
No, go right ahead and do
okay.
what you want to do.
Sure. Okay. All righty. Let's see. I'll do the. But by the way, I am a musician also, and so let me play a few songs for you. Let me start off with how about classic tune, the can. Okay, the can. Okay. Number 2 pencil. Okay. There we go. And if you like some rock and roll, I can play some rock and roll. Okay, let's do this one. Good. Cool. Okay. More. See if you can name this tune. Okay. See if you can name this tune. Okay. Anybody know what the tune is?
Jeopardy?
What is Jeopardy would be the correct answer. What is Jeopardy? Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I went to, I like the curtains back here, it reminds me of the movie. I went to see this movie called I Am Number Four. It's a touching story about Mandarin beef over rice. I Am Number Four. So, so while watching the movie, the guy next to me starts talking on his cell phone, right in the middle of the movie. So I tell him, "Excuse me, sir, can you please, put your phone away, try and watch a movie?" And he does. He puts his phone away. Then a few minutes later, I'm talking on my cell phone, and this guy says to me, "Hey, how come I can't talk on my cell phone and you can?" I tell him, "Well, that's because I am a hypocrite." Yep. And speaking of smartphones, I guess, the other day this guy runs up to me. I guess his smartphone wasn't working and ran out of batteries or something. Just flipping his thumbs at me. Says, "Oh, excuse me, sir. Can you please help me get home? I don't know how to get home. What time is it? Is it lunchtime yet? I don't see a picture of my food." And then he jumped into a bag of rice. But by the way, I did drop my smartphone a few days ago into water, and they say you can't fix your phone if you put it into a bag of rice. And I did that, but I forgot all about it, and I ended up having a smartphone fried rice for dinner. And also now they have a new BDSM smartphone. It has slap in the face recognition. So, one more thing. So I'm a big comic book fan. I finally got to go to the comic book convention, and I didn't want to wait all day in line to get an autograph. So I came up with an idea. I went up to the front door and I yelled, "Hey, Eugene, your mother's here to pick you up," and the whole place cleared out. Only person left was this woman dressed up like Wonder Woman. So I go up to her and say, "Hey there, Wonder Woman. Want to come over to my place and check out my comic book collection? I got a lot of issues." And she says, "Get lost, you nerd." I told her I can't get lost because I got my address written in my underwear. So there. Yep. Okay. Well, before I go, I just want to let you know I am also available for birthdays. Bar mitzvahs. And also available for weddings. Okay, thank you.
That was Danny Dutchy, everybody. You can follow him on social media and tell them where they can follow you, Danny.
Yeah, Kat, like the curtain says, DannyDutchy.com. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and maybe MySpace. I'm not sure, but no, probably not. It's just punch in Danny Dutchy anywhere, and you'll there you go. Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is go backwards through the cast of comedians today. And Danny, would you also let people know where you're going to be performing live and on Zoom in the next few weeks so people can know?
Sure. I have a live comedy show every Tuesday. It's free in San Francisco. It's 7. It starts at 7 p.m. It's free, live at the Neck of the Woods. You can catch my website to see all the shows going on. I have every first Friday of the month. I have the First Funny Fridays on Zoom. You can catch that on my Facebook page. And so I'll also have the new show coming up with, thanks to Helene, got these other comedians together. The new show starting April 25th, once a month. It's called Doctors, Teachers, and Rock and Roll. Wide variety of things, people. So it's great. So catch that. You can just go to my website and you see the schedule for all that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
awesome. Thank you so much. Now backwards through the cast, Jerry Everett Hodges, would you please let everyone know? Let me spotlight you first.
All right.
I'm going to get rid of Danny's spotlight. There we go. Tell everybody where they can see you live and on Zoom.
Okay, so I've got a show Sunday nights. It's called No Line to Cross Comedy. If you have any information, No Line to Cross Comedy at hotmail.com. We're on Twitter also, NLTC at NLTC Comedy. I'm thinking of right now, other than myself, as I said, on Instagram at Jerry EFFIN Hodges. Twitter, Jerry with the G, Hodges. I'm also on Facebook if that's easier for everyone. I don't want to make myself convoluted. Don't want to alienate myself from everyone. I'm the only Canuck, so yeah.
Thank you so very much, Jerry Everett Hodges. And let me go ahead and put up our Vegas comedian, Skylar Shock. If you would let everybody know where you're going to be performing here, I'd appreciate it on Zoom and live.
Yeah, I don't have much Zoom stuff coming up, but I am going to be tomorrow at Three Sheets Brewery in Vegas as part of Citrus and Flowers event. I'm actually in rehearsals right now for A Midsummer Night's Dream. I'm going to be playing Helena, and we open that here in Vegas at NCT the end of the month. So the April 29th, that weekend, and then the weekend after that, we'll be performing. And I'm doing, like Linda mentioned at the beginning, I'm doing a series of comedy pop-ups over the summer. We'll be in Charlotte in May 26th, I think, at Heist Brewery. And then I'm, looking to get a Bay Area slot on there as well. So look out for more info.
Awesome. Maybe Danny can help you with that.
Get some
Thank you so much, Skylar. And I'm going to go on over here to the first comedian then that came up after me. Who came up after me? Like, get the English correct. Here we go. Replacing the spotlight to Helene Witt. Helene, where are you going to be performing? I know you're all over Zoom and all over the East Coast. So break it down for us, girl.
Well, tomorrow I'm in a photo shoot in Washington Square Park in Greenwich Village, New York, with the Good Timing
cool.
Group from a movie that we were on the Critics' Choice Awards. I'm proud of that. We lost to Bro Burnham. I can't even get myself to watch him. Resentful, perhaps, but what else? I'm going to be with Danny. We created these 3 shows. He combined them all. He's brilliant. He combined the rock and roll, the teachers, and the medical Zoom people together in one show.
That's fabulous.
Then I'm in a contest later tonight with Jody Oliver.
Wonderful.
On Instagram.
We'll break a leg on that show. I hope you get through and win the whole thing, Helene. You're fabulous.
Send me the link, please. Please send me the link. I want to see this.
So Jerry would like the link so he can watch you tonight.
That sounds wrong in my head somewhere.
Did you hear that, Helene?
Watch me. Yeah, I have to take a picture of Jerry's email before you close it down.
No problem. And then I'll be the one to talk last here. So replace, here we go. So I'm going to be performing on Zoom tonight at 8 o'clock. I don't even know what the show is about. I don't know what I'm doing, how many minutes, but hey, I got to learn improv somewhere. That's how I do it. That's how I roll. And I'm going to be here in Vegas at the Artifice show coming up in May sometime. I've got it written down, but you'll see a flyer if you're here in Vegas. And I get to be back at 18 Bin later this month, I think on the 26th. So if you're in Vegas or want to come to Vegas, I'd love to be able to get on stage and make you laugh. And for those of you at home who are military or veterans, again, everybody hit me up where all I can send this video so that we can reach as many military and veterans and families of those to make them laugh. I'll send it. I'll stay up all night long. Helene knows I will, and get my sleep the next day to get these videos out where I'd like them to go viral, actually, but we'll see about that. Thank you so much, comedians, for being a part of this 38th military comedy show that is no longer clean. You did a great job. It was fantastic. So I'm going to go off of Facebook Live, and anyone who would like to stay.
Wait, stay on, because I want to acknowledge Linda live in front of every 5,000 person people. Purple People Eater on her Facebook live. Linda is amazing. She has 909 interviews, and
Wow.
she's amazing. She gives everyone a chance, not just Sinbad and Bobby Rydell, rest in peace. She lets the small comics, young comics, new comics, anybody, she'll interview you. She's generous, and she puts on these fun shows. I'm looking for someone to be her sponsor who could help her in a financial way. But in the meantime, hats off to Linda for being so generous.
Yeah.
And now you can do whatever you want.
You guys, you're so awesome. And thank you, Helene, for that. Let me go off of Facebook live stream. So you guys at home, thank you so much for watching. And you can go on my YouTube and see all the other military